It's TGI Now time. Back again in the K420 studio, discussing real, authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Free in your mind.
One episode at a time.
Shit, we trying.
There we are.
We finally got it right.
You know,
Yeah, we got
it's
it right
funny. I heard him say it, and I've been hearing him say it now for over 2 years, and I still can't get it right.
It's like, shit, I can't do that.
It's TGI Now time. Time again, and
Back again.
back again in the K420
Back.
studio.
We back. I'm back. I'm
Yeah.
back. We found me. We found me. I'm back.
As we discussed, this is our last recording
In the...
at this 420 K
Yep.
studio. We upgraded to a nicer K420.
Oh, yeah. A little bigger.
A little bigger. It's going to be a lot nicer. The sound's going to be a lot more comfortable for our guests.
Yep.
But, it's funny. I was thinking about how we got this thing all started, 2 white chairs.
Yeah, the 2 white chairs.
2 white
Oh,
chairs,
man.
And I think I had little baby Yoda
Yep.
in one of them.
You did. There's a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yep. And we had the
Yeah.
we had the GoPro.
Yeah,
The
GoPro.
using the
We
GoPro.
tried, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Then we had the one mic.
Yep. I
Yeah.
still got that mic.
Yeah. That's crazy,
That's in the
huh?
Zen room. Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah,
That's good.
now we're 4 mics.
4 mics, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, got a lot more stuff now. Computer, everything, big screen television, all that
it'll
good stuff.
It'll look good though. I think we'll get a better angle on the.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm thinking that it will get a better angle. You guys maybe see a little more than the side of my face.
Right. It'll look good.
But
Stop
I think Rondell had an idea. I'm gonna get like a phantom mask. This way they still can't see the other half
Yeah,
of my face.
there you go.
Keep it going.
I got one of those.
Keep it going.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man. So you went to the movies yesterday. How was it?
Yeah, so I went and saw Sound of Freedom. It's been 5 years in the making that movie's been trying to get out.
Yeah.
It's been through a lot of things, and it was supposed to go out 3 years ago. It was supposed to come out, and then they didn't. Hollywood was trying to block it, and then apparently Paramount got a hold of it and stuffed it, and Disney got the rights to it, and then they gave up the rights to it, and then now here it is in theaters. 4th of July, happy 4th. But it was a good amount of people there for Vero Beach. I was at the 6:45 show, and there was. First, it didn't look like a lot of people were going to show up, and all of a sudden, everybody started pouring in, five minutes before the show started. So then I was like, "Oh shit! All right, there's a good amount of people." And I haven't been to the movies since before the fucking pandemic. So I'm sitting there going, "Oh, this is fucking weird," So, but it was good. Yeah, it was good. It brought a lot of things to light about child trafficking. How they exploit these kids, and right under the parents' noses a lot of times. Through the border, how they ship them on shipping containers. Overseas, they stick them in shipping containers.
Yeah, we always see movies how they ship kids here.
Yeah.
But we're shipping kids out too.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And so
A lot of our kids that have gone missing, you can't find. They're not even that. Not only the kids that are missing, you got a lot of parents selling their own kids.
Oh yeah.
And then you got the baby farms. These people just having babies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they didn't get that deep into it. I was hoping they would. I hope they start talking about organ harvesting a little bit.
Yeah,
of the
the baby farms. Where they just producing babies and all that stuff.
Adrenochrome. They didn't talk about that.
They didn't talk about I thought they would.
I was hoping they did, but they didn't.
That's probably
taboo.
They probably took it out. Bro.
Yeah, they probably did.
Bro, you
Because
can't Google that
once
word.
you said that Disney had their hands on
they
it,
had their hands on it
I
at one
said,
point.
nah,
yeah.
They took
They
it.
probably
They
fucked
doctored
this
that
up.
shit
Yeah, they did.
before they put it out. Trust me, it got touched.
because adrenochrome is
That's a very
big
sensitive
deal.
subject.
And people
It's
don't want
not
to
even
hear
supposed to
about it. You
exist.
know what it is? People don't even want to hear about it.
No.
That's what it is. Like they're like, oh no, don't talk about that. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not true. No, just because you don't talk about it here doesn't mean it's not true. It's true as fuck. They are drinking our kids' blood.
Yeah.
They're scaring the shit out of them, and they're drinking their blood.
And that's what they played on in the movie most of the time. It was mostly just playing on your emotions, and they didn't really show you graphics. They didn't show any kids getting messed around with. They just showed the
Good. You don't want to see that.
No, of course not. No, and I think that it leaves it to your imagination on what these kids go through. They just they talked about it. Tim Ballard's been doing this for a long time, Operation Underground Railroad. So I mean, he's involved in it. It's a story about him. They do show an island where they were setting up a whole set up to where, you know, they were bringing kids to the island, and the elites were going to fly in, and then they actually caught the people that were doing it. It's real footage. They show real footage of it, too, at the end of this raid that they did on this island. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, obviously compare that to Epstein Island. So it's...
That's what I'm thinking, Epstein Island.
Well, and then what they're trying to portray is that there's more than just one island that they do this shit on.
There was one in Sweden. He got caught right after Jeffrey Epstein. He was his friend.
Yeah. So it just tells you that there's, you know, it's giving people that idea that there's other islands, there's other things going on.
They said he was way worse.
Yeah. You know, and they show you how they, you know, they con the parents into believing that, you know, their kid's going to be like this little model, and they bring them to the modeling studio, and they take pictures of them, and they upload the pictures to the internet, and then people, you know, say, I want that one, I want this one, and they fucking round the kids up, and they bring them to the islands.
Have you ever heard of the show on Nickelodeon called All That?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Did you know they're saying that the executive producer of that show, have you ever seen the movie Good Burger?
Oh, yeah.
He's the manager in the store, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They say that guy touched almost all those kids.
100% he did, yeah. Yeah.
Amanda Bynes is in a fucking mental hospital. Like, well, she just got out of a mental hospital because they fucked with her after she basically told.
Yeah.
Huh. But it's not only over there. Disney, one of the execs at Disney did it to all those kids too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, like, these kids, like, that what you're saying, they get promised shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what come a lot of these child actors. You notice they become child actors and they don't go further.
No, it's either they die because they tell. Corey Feldman, that you die because you tell.
Yeah.
He told what happened to him as a kid, and they killed him.
Yep.
It's like the kid that did Go Away from Home. What was her name?
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, him and the Michael Jackson thing. He still denies it.
Yeah, he says that Michael didn't do nothing to him. Yeah,
he still denies
I believe him. You know. Yeah, it's definitely worth seeing.
Yeah,
so,
but the kid. What I'm saying is that if it wasn't real, the kid went through a lot of shit with drugs. Somebody abused and fucked that kid up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you gotta think about it. He had before he met Michael Jackson, the Home Alone franchise was out.
Huge and made a lot of money.
Who made those movies? Was that Harvey Weinstein, bro?
Harvey Weinstein made those movies that way.
Yeah.
Man, where is he right now? In jail for
exactly
touching people.
Yeah. Yep, you're 100% right. And it's the good news is that it's out there. People are going to pay attention to it. They're going to bring awareness to it. So I mean, that collectively, people will start to focus on things of this nature. That that are like.
Do you really think that people are going to do anything, or do you think they're going to keep on fucking being complicit?
No, I don't think there is a way to be complicit. If the majority of the world has a child, there are children having kids now.
Well, I'm in agreement with you. I'm pissed just thinking about it.
So, like, I don't think there's anybody who has a child that's going to say, once this shit is, like, slap dab on it, once it's hitting the news, like, and this fucking, they can't hide it no more, they have to report it. Once it's slapping the news like that, they're like, bro, my kids are never leaving the fucking house again.
Yeah.
Not without me. Everybody getting a gun.
Yeah.
They really snatching our kids and selling them to other countries and then bringing them back like they found them somewhere here in the country.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They done shipped your kid off somewhere to get God knows what did to them.
Yeah.
Bring them back to you scarred and shit. And they supposed to just...
Yep.
And the kids are so gullible, you could say, oh yeah, we're going to give you all of this in the future.
And the parents are like, yeah, please,
Yeah.
Some of them signing their kids up for this shit.
100%.
Yeah.
In the movie, it depicts the guy brings the kid to a modeling agency and he leaves him there, and then he leaves and he's like, "Oh, you got to come back in like 5 hours." And he goes back 5 hours in his hotel room, and fucking kids are gone. Next thing you know, they're fucking disappeared and gone for months at a time. Like he's like, "I can't find my fucking kids. I just brought my kid to this modeling agency, and then they're fucking gone, just like that." It's that quick. And this
that's what they said. That's what they said Ghislaine was doing.
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell was doing the same thing. She was telling girls, "Oh yeah, you're pretty. I could get you this, that, and everything." She was coaxing them for him.
Yep, same thing. They kind of depict the same thing. So they give you the good seed. They drop the good seeds on it. They just leave a little bit of stuff out, obviously. But it's little bit at a time, drip, drip. I mean, the big saying in the movie is that God's children are not for sale. That's what the Jim Caviezel always says. God's children are not for sale. He always like mumbles during the movie though. It's kind of funny. It's like talks real low. It's like speak up, Jim. I can't hear you. You know?
So he plays the part of
Tim Ballard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I mean, people got up and left. And it tells you at the end, at the bottom, it's 2 minutes. It says stay at the end for a special message. And then Caviezel does a nice special message, which to me was more powerful than the movie itself.
So what was the message?
I recorded it if you want me to play it.
Yeah, play it.
All right, I'll play it for you. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good message. I mean, All right, let's see where it's at. I got it right here.
Proud to say I haven't even smoked it.
I'm guessing some of you are feeling sad, maybe overwhelmed, or even a sense of fear, which is understandable. But living in fear isn't how we solve this problem. It's living in hope. It's believing that we can make a difference because we can. But I want to make one thing clear. This movie you just watched isn't about me or Tim Ballard. It's about those kids. You know, Steve Jobs once said, the most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. Abraham Lincoln credited Harriet Stowe when she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. This powerful story inspired millions to rise up and fight against slavery. I think we can make Sound of Freedom the Uncle Tom's Cabin of 21st century slavery. This film was actually made 5 years ago. It wasn't released till now, with every roadblock that you can imagine being tossed in the way. And the names you see here on the screen took a stand, and they made sure this story could be shown to all of you. And now all of you have the opportunity to continue telling this story. We don't have big studio money to market this movie, but we have you, and the baton has now been passed to you. You are the storytellers that can get people to come see this film in theaters. When you come to a theater, you experience movies differently. There is no pause button. There are no distractions. We all have an experience as we watch the film together as a community. It makes it possible for strong messages like this one to take root. Sound of Freedom is a hero's tale, but I'm not talking about the character I play. It's the heroic brother and sister in this film that work to save each other. They are the true heroes. The most powerful person in this world is the storyteller. Together, we have a chance to make these two kids and the countless children that they represent the most powerful people in the world by telling their story in a way only the cinema can do. For a couple of months, while Sound of Freedom is in theaters, these kids can be more powerful than the cartel kingpins or presidents, congressmen, or even tech billionaires. We believe this movie has the power to be a huge step forward toward ending child trafficking, but it will only have that effect if millions of people see it. Now, I know it's weird because we're in a theater, but feel free to pull out your phones and scan this QR code. We don't want finances to be the reason someone doesn't see this movie, so Angel Studios boldly has set up a pay-it-forward program where you can pay for someone else's ticket who might not otherwise see it.
They give you free tickets away on Facebook. The Angel.
By buying a ticket for someone else, or if your budget is tight, share the already available free tickets with as many friends as you can, or do both. Join us and millions of others as we ring Sound of Freedom and hope throughout the world. And just remember this, God's children are not for sale.
Amen.
So he kept on saying that, like you're saying in the movie, but it's true, they're not. And I mean, they're being used, because people want them, it's demand, if there's a demand for something, you're definitely gonna, find somebody to sell it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a demand.
Well, remember what I always say is like the money system is the control system. So if the money system isn't involved, there's no demand because it's all about the money for these kids.
But there's still something. There's going to be gold, whatever it is.
Well, whatever it is, but it cuts it off because
pleasures.
I know, but then the same time is like to keep people's mouths shut. They get paid off with money too. You have to keep the people's mouths shut too. You can't just do this and pay people without other people keeping their mouths shut. They got to be paid off.
Everybody got to keep their mouths shut. Nobody wants to be exposed.
But if the money doesn't exist or they can't be paid off, then they don't keep their mouths shut no more. They turn
Too
on
much
each
money
other.
to get paid off.
Exactly.
Look at Jamie Foxx and Diddy right now. That shit's so crazy. T.I. done jumped in the whole thing now. He mad as fuck. He like, bro, y'all got some shit going on.
Yeah. With Jamie Foxx, he said something about
Jamie Foxx said when they said Jamie Foxx just woke up, and first thing he said was, "Tell the police, don't let nobody in. I think somebody trying to kill me." That was not natural.
And that was because
what happened to me was not natural.
stroke.
He had a whole stroke, and he was like, "It wasn't natural. Somebody out to kill me. They been told me they was finna kill me."
And he said Diddy
he just had a whole interview with Diddy exposing how Diddy was having gay parties with kids and shit, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, there's a lot of celebrities that don't fuck with Diddy no more. Like, he been doing some weird ass shit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
he sold,
like 50 Cent that's snapping on his ass, like, and 50 don't give a fuck. If he sees some
50
weird
gangster,
yeah, 50 don't give a
he
fuck.
gangster, bro. He
So
from the
50
ghetto.
is straight up
Ain't
like,
no
bro,
make-believe
you a
about
weird
50.
ass motherfucker.
But they'll start
like,
turning
straight
on
up.
each other. That's what happens. They'll start telling on them and being like, "These guys are fucked up,"
it.
you know. And that's what has to happen. That's what he said in this video message is that people have to wake. They have to stand up. They have to speak up. They have to be like, "I can't do this anymore. I keep my mouth shut. This is not good." Like,
No, because it's happening all over, and and the thing is, I think the mistake. I don't know if it's by design, but I think the mistake is that they're fucking with the kids now.
yeah,
When you were messing around with adults' heads and everything else, it was different. No one really gave a fuck.
Yeah,
But now
that's-
you're fucking around with our children.
An
You know?
adult can fight it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you're fucking selling our
Should be
kids. You
able
want to
to.
use our kids. Hold up. We're out with this shit. You know what I mean? We're not having this. And that's what it's, and that's, it's going to take what it takes. And one of the things is that most people don't want you fucking with their family, bro.
Exactly.
Nobody.
You know, especially your kids, bro. You ready to fucking war, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So that's what needs to happen in order for people to like to say, hold up, you know, it could be my kid.
Exactly, and that's what the movie portrays. Really, everybody in that theater was either a grandparent or a parent of some sort, and they're sitting there going, "Wow, that could like my kid could get like taken like that." And they were showing videos of like kids getting taken, you know, real videos of people in surveillance getting taken.
Bro, I see those videos all the time on Twitter. That
Oh,
shit's
yeah.
so crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Especially in like places like Brazil. Like, they just be trying to snatch the kid, like,
Yep.
with a street full
Right
of
up.
people.
Oh yeah, they were showing videos of that. You know, they showed videos of the people that were setting up the party on the island. You know, the real people that they caught because they did raid the island and they did catch the people. So it's real. This is the difference between a Hollywood film and a movie that's real life shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's real. There's documented video that backs it up what they showed on the screen.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
You know, that's the good part about it is that it is documented video. It is real. Tim Ballard is a real guy. You know, it's not like they're making the story up.
You know, just putting this out there again, I've been talking to Bob Henderson out in Oregon. You know, he's the national leader of bikers and citizens for a better future. And that's what they're about. They're about getting those kids, you know, like if you find out about a kid, if you know that there's a kid in trouble, reach out, you know, because there's people like myself that will go out there and get that kid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not too concerned with whatever repercussions.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll get that kid, you know, so because it's so important, and you need organizations like Citizens and Bikers, and you need people to stand up for our kids, because look, if you're not going to stand up for your child because you're fucking blind, you're complicit to this fucking bullshit, you know, you're thinking, oh, you know, they're not teaching my kid this, they're not going to snatch my kid, and, you know, you better wake up.
Big time.
know, you better wake up because, you know, I don't want to put it out to the universe, but your kid could be next, you know, so you got to think about that, you know. What is it that you're going to do to prevent that from happening?
Because it's happening
unless
every
you
day.
stand up now.
Every day.
Every day it
You
is
know,
happening.
don't wait for it to happen to stand up. Prevent it from happening. Be vigilant, knowing that there's danger out there for you and your family, and do something. You know, like, get informed. That's the first thing you really need to do.
Yeah,
is get informed. Listen to this podcast. Share this podcast. You know, we talk a lot of straight up truth. We fuck around a lot on the podcast. We smoke a lot of weed, and we laugh and we joke. But, you know, we speak a lot of truth. You know, if you hear our podcast throughout, man, you know, we talk about shit that's 100% real. Shit that you're not going to hear on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC and all these fake fucking news stations. You know, you're going to hear the truth in these podcasts, you know. So start listening up, man, and watching, with, you know, and realize with your real eyes. Open up your fucking eyes and realize what the hell is going on around you.
Oh.
Because if you don't,
And that's what, when I got up from the movie.
Shame on you.
When I got up, the couple next to me was an older gentleman and his wife. They were making a lot of noises and they were gasping it a lot of times. And I was just paying attention to people around me. The one they afterwards the man got up and he was like, "Wow," he's like, "They make a lot of money doing all this stuff." And I was like, "Well, yeah." I said, "That's the whole point." I said, "These are politicians and celebrities and all. They set this stuff up. They protect each other. They're all a part of it. They don't they don't make sure that nobody knows about this shit, and that's why they get away with it." And he was just like, "Wow, yeah." And I said, "Look what's happening with the DOJ and the fucking FBI and the CIA now." I said, "Look what they're doing." I said, "Do you think they're going to fucking worry about this shit? No, they don't care. They don't want to fucking stop this. Why do you think the border's open like it is? It's one thing. Trump was putting the wall up because he was trying to stop child trafficking. He's the only one that talks about it. You only hear Biden talk about it.
Biden is part of it.
Exactly.
He got an island too.
Exactly. So
Biden is part. He likes
his
little
island
kids. You
was
see
right
him
next
smelling
door to
all these kids'
Epstein.
hair and all that other shit.
So that's where it comes down
He's a
to.
fucking, fucking the chief of the fucking country, executive in chief, whatever the hell you want to
CEO
call
of the
him.
corporation.
Is fucking. He likes little kids.
Yeah, and so this is what it's exposed to.
But his son is exposed to child sex trafficking too.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, his son.
Exactly.
So, his daughter wrote in a diary that she hated taking showers with dad.
Well, there's a scene in the movie where Caviezel plays a guy that's a rich, a white American guy that's wanting a bunch of kids, like 50 kids. He wants to have a party, and you kind of think about it, it's like that could easily be Biden's son. That could be his son. Like, oh yeah, I want 50 kids. I'm gonna have a party. He was portraying that role. They're trying to tell the public, like, this is what they do. Like, this is how they do it. They're rich. They got there's not more than money. They know what to do with. And they can set up a party with 50 kids, no problem, and have all kinds of celebrities and politicians come over.
How sad is that?
Yeah, sick. It's sick, and that's why Trump always says these people are sick. These people are sick because they are. It's a sick society that we live in, and this is where we have to stop it. And God's not going to be mocked anymore. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios where you look at this and you're like, there's no way this can keep going. We can't this society can't allow this to keep going. That's what it comes down to.
That's what's really what it's all about with Trump. That's why he's in jail.
Yeah,
that's what it's all
they let him
about.
go to jail. Exactly. That's why they want to lock him up, because they know that he's wanting to stop this, and he was putting a stop to it.
I mean, that's all that money. That's the value. What they do, they make a lot of money. Yeah, all that money is what got Trump ass in jail. The motherfuckers gonna protect that shit to the
100%
to the end, because if it hit, they all ruined.
They're done.
They're done.
The money system goes, they're done. That's why I sent you guys that video about the money system, because the money system goes, that's it. They have nothing left. They're fucked.
Bro, they killed a president for launching a fucking investigation on the CIA.
Exactly.
I want to know who you get to investigate the CIA.
Yeah, right?
The Mossad? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who do you get?
Who do you get? And when you know that it's corrupt, and you know that you're not going to get any justice in the Justice Department. So what do? You have to take matters in your own hands. Yeah, you got to take matters in your own hands, and that's what Tim Ballard did. He was like, I'm taking matters in my own hands. So I mean, it's awareness, and that's why I did the video after I went and seen it. I just did a quick video. I sent it out. We got a bunch of people following our page again. We got a bunch of new subscribers when I put that out there.
In the Bible, right? They talk about Christ speaks in red letters, and he says, "Hurt one of my little ones." It's like putting a millstone.
They say that in the movie. Yeah.
And one of the things, what a millstone is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you put that around your neck and you drown.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is to mess around with one of God's little ones,
And that's what he says in the movie. Caviezel actually says that.
Yeah, so I was trying to find the scripture. I know the scripture in my head. I was trying to find where it was for other people to see it. But
yeah, he says it. He's sitting at a table with a pedophile, and he says it to the because the pedophile's all like, "Yeah, I want to get the kids, and we're gonna do this." And then he just looks at him and goes, and he quotes that scripture, and the next thing you know, they fucking take the guy out.
Yeah,
it's intense. It's an intense movie for like PG-13, and it's a little watered down. But it's enough for an old man that's sitting next to me to question it after the movie, like to literally ask me questions. I didn't talk to the guy the whole time. I just sat there minding my own business.
Well, you were there for a reason, because that's what you do, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I was outside making the video, people were walking by me, and they were lady came up to me and started asking me questions.
We got to get a T-shirt that says the TJ and now the back, the Minister of Truth, John Karapi. It's the truth, though, John.
That's
I
funny.
did it the other day, and it's funny, right? And I thought about you.
Uh-huh.
I told you, I saw this guy come into the store with a mask.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
I said, dude, I said, you're getting more sick with the mask. And he says, hey, I'm not sick. And he got really upset
They get
with
upset.
me.
They glitch out. They glitch.
And I just walked away. I just said, okay, whatever.
They glitch out, man. They fucking
But
glitch.
why wear a mask if you don't have to?
They think they have to. That's the thing. It's programmed.
That's what it is.
It's
They're
MK Ultra.
programmed.
It's MK Ultra. They're fried. Their mind's
They're
fried.
fucked up, dude.
People say
But
I'm
it's
fried.
people like that, bro, that has our country and so fucked up.
Exactly.
It's those people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I won't say that, they voted them in because the elections are all
It's all
fucked
rigged
up.
anyway. It doesn't matter who
Yeah,
they
the
voted
elections
for.
don't matter. You're not elected. You're selected.
placed.
You
You're
know.
selected. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
placed.
you're selected. You get selected, and that's how Obama became president because nobody knew Obama.
Nope.
There's no way Obama won two elections.
No.
But, it is what it is. He was already president. He already started the ruin of this country, bringing back racism that was gone.
Yeah.
Like, nobody gave a fuck. Let's talk about Michelle. Let's talk about that, Let's talk about your wife who now is being exposed that because it's being said in other platforms is a man.
Oh, yeah.
That they had a trans first lady.
Yep.
And that our president
Was gay.
was gay.
Exactly.
Whatever, that's cool.
But that's what it was.
But be honest. Speak your truth. Don't fucking bring it out now that it's to make it acceptable.
But he never would have became president if people would have known he was gay and she was a man. It never would have happened.
They would have shut the White House
It would have
down.
never would have happened. So that's where and so here's a great example. So I was listening to a Kim Clement prophecy today, and from 2010 when Obama was in office, and he was saying something about the serpent is in the White House. The serpent is in the White House. He was preaching, and you think about Obama and Biden were both in the White House for 8 years. So he was telling people back then the serpent is in the White House, and that the traitor's hand is on the table, and we're being infiltrated from within. He was telling people in 2010. I was sitting there watching it today. I was like, holy fuck, dude. He's talking about exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then Trump threw a monkey wrench into the process because he became
because
president.
he wasn't supposed to
He wasn't
win.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's how come they made sure they fucking put more. Because there were 155,000 people who could actually 155 million people who could actually vote in the United States. There aren't children and citizens. And I think they picked up 168 million votes.
Yeah,
So,
81 million,
81, extra million.
And Trump got the most votes as a sitting president.
Yeah,
ever.
I got the
ever.
kids to vote this time.
So
But
you
Biden
see
got
it.
more votes than Obama in the black community.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of
Exactly.
here.
So that's.
he's a fucking known racist. They're fucking down with KKK and Bird.
So
what the fuck?
So if you compare the serpent is in the White House 2010, and then you fast forward to today, well, guess what? The serpent is in the White House now too, and the traitor's hand is on the table. That's what it comes down to. The traitor's hand is on the table. He's the traitor. Biden's the traitor. He's the one that's been playing this game the whole time. And he's a pedo. And he's a pedo.
Yeah.
He's a Geppetto. So there you go. So here we go. So Kim Clement's prophecy is on the money, and he says it's strange July, and we're in July now, and this is where it's all coming back around. So what's going to happen next? Because if the serpent's in the White House, we got to get the serpent out of there now.
Yeah, he needs to go.
Exactly. So what's going to happen now? This is where I'm like, oh shit! Like the hand of God's on its way.
It's a bunch of shit. I mean, shit. I want to know what. I don't think that billionaire died in that damn submarine. That shit was a distraction.
I think so, too.
I think that those people they fucked up somewhere.
Something's not right. Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, something's fucked
Something's
up.
off.
Something's off with that. I agree with you guys.
Yeah, so that was something that was
Yeah.
But I would like to talk more about Diddy and his fucking little gay parties, that motherfucker. I wonder if J-Lo was down with that.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
I know J-Lo was she's a sellout.
Yeah.
Yeah, she a sellout, but I don't think kids. Ben Affleck ain't one of them. Ben Affleck is one of those people who talk about it. Who he not one of those actors that won't talk about shit like that. So
J-Lo wasn't down, just Diddy.
Yeah, right.
J-Lo is a bitch.
But J-Lo,
in real life, if you see how her and bro be going, bro, she a bitch, bro. Like you couldn't deal with that shit, bro. Like that's a real Spanish woman, bro.
Right.
Like real
She's
Spanish.
from Castle Hill. She's from the Bronx,
Yeah, bro. That's that real shit. Like you got a real bitch on your hands. Yeah, you got a real bitch.
That's funny because I was dating this girl. Her name was Sandra Martinez, and she lived on the Castle Hill Road in Seward. So I used to pass J-Lo's house all the time. without even realizing, because she was a kid back then. She's like 10 years old,
You don't know, yeah. When you growing up around, like...
Right. That's funny.
I do like Ben Affleck, though.
Ben Affleck.
I do.
Yeah. He's all right.
Well, he's a troubled individual.
Yeah.
And, he struggles with alcohol, women.
Wasn't he a child actor?
He came in with
He was Goodwill Hunting.
He came in with Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Was it Matt
They
Damon?
did some stuff before.
Was it
that,
Matt
though.
Damon?
Matt Damon was a child actor,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
they did stuff. They did stuff when
He's
they were
been in
younger.
a- in
though.
They were
movies.
teenagers. They weren't kids.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were teenagers.
but they
were
did
like
do
in
some
their,
stuff.
They were in their late teens.
Yeah.
Because
Affleck
Goodwill
was in-
Hunting was one of their first movies,
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck being his best friend at the time, they
Yeah.
were best friends. He got him in the movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ben Affleck's brother is also an actor
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
You look, these people from Boston, like people from up
they all
north,
look out
they're
for each other,
they-
yeah.
that's how we did it.
Boston.
We always looked out for each other up north.
They're mass holes.
Massholes, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mass holes.
I gotta get up there.
Right.
Yeah, I've been to Mass. Not much to see. It's cold as fuck.
No, I never.
I went in the winter. It was
Not
cold.
much to see.
I never.
Yeah, it was cold, man. It was like not much to see. It's
I
like
feel
a
like I
city
go up
like
there, I
any
gotta
other.
catch a baseball game or something. Like,
Yeah,
you have to go like
you
do a
gotta
baseball
something,
game or a
catch
hockey game.
Sox game or
Go
some
to,
shit.
go to Fenway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fenway Park.
make sure you go to
Pack.
the Patriots game.
Ugh.
'Cause
And make sure you wear the home team colors so you don't get beat
Jump.
up.
Yeah, you don't get
'Cause
jumped.
that's what them motherfuckers don't play
They
over
don't
there.
play out there.
About their sports, bro, you will get your ass beat in the stadium, and they gonna let it happen.
And my son Joshua wears Dolphin shirt, walk
Oh,
down
man, he
that
don't
block
give a
looking
fuck.
for a fight. Please, let's fight.
Let's do this shit. I want one of y'all to say
I
this.
want one of these too.
That's funny.
I see that.
They got the worst fans in sports. They
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, the Jet fans are bad too. The Jets.
No, nobody's worse than Boston,
Really?
bro.
Yeah.
They said nobody's worse than Boston. If you ask any NBA player, any in it, baseball, NBA, hockey, any sport,
Yeah.
they all say
So
Boston
they
is
really-
the worst place to play.
Maybe.
Used to be Philly, but
They say
yeah,
it's fucking the fans. They say it's the fans.
Yeah.
Every time the fans are fucking crazy.
Well, I know that because you
That's
got people
fine.
out here that lived here. They've been here 20 years.
Oh, they will never give up Boston.
Bro, and Tom Brady doesn't
Never
even
give up.
fucking
Don't play
play
for
with
them
the
no more.
Patriots no more.
And they will die.
They
by
will
that
die
motherfucker.
for the Patriots,
What,
bro.
bro? Don't say shit about the
Don't
Patriots.
say
bro.
shit about the
They not
motherfucking
budging,
Patriots.
bro.
What you said?
Jeez.
I may live in Florida, but I'm from Boston.
I'm from Boston.
Unbelievable.
Bro, that's
Used to be
crazy.
Philly. Used to be
They're
Philly
all
fans.
nice and tanned,
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
else. They don't
Boston
even
done
look
took
like
that
fucking
crown, bro.
masses
Boston got
anymore.
that shit.
Right? Jesus.
Every sport says it. Boston
But you
has
know
the
something,
worst
if you
fans.
think about it, right? Let's talk about that for a minute because it makes sense, right? Here you're talking about these people who are so enwrapped in football and they get so hard on it. But where did that come from?
That's generational.
No.
That's what they do.
My son got football, not from me.
That's facts.
That's true. Yeah.
Something he just picked up.
He just picked it up. So what I'm saying is that he started watching it and he got so wrapped up watching the game, so intense, almost like he got programmed.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your team.
It's true.
Serious.
It's true.
Think about
No,
it.
it
He was
happened.
watching Dolphin games in New York. And my best friend, right, Dennis, played. He was from Florida, loved the Dolphins. So, Joshua started really liking football. He would sit with him as a kid, like 5 years old, watching football with Dennis.
Yeah.
And Dennis was like, the Dolphins, we gotta like the Dolphins. So the kid's 5 years old.
He's like the Dolphins now.
So he's fucking like the Dolphins, the Dolphins. It's the truth. So he came when, yeah, bro. So
man.
even in New York, he was a Dolphin
Well,
fan.
that's what happened to me. Like when I was, up north when I was a kid. Like I wasn't really into the Eagles and football, but our neighbors around the corner, the whole family were fucking. It was a husband
Really
and wife.
was
And
big.
they had 7 kids, and they'd all sit in front of the TV. And we'd be outside playing. We'd hear them in the house screaming, "Yeah!" It's just going nuts. And we were like, "What the fuck's going on in that house?" So we would go up and we find out. And eventually, we started to go in the house,
Go in the
watching
house,
the
you
games
watching
with
the
them.
game now,
And next
too.
thing you know, we were down there every Sunday watching the game, and it was
Bro.
all she wrote. So it's programming.
Yankee
It
Stadium
is.
is always a full house.
Yeah.
Yankee fans, because the Yankees won the most World Series, they've
Exactly.
been to the pennant most times. Still, no one stopped them. Yankee fans are like, I'm a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
I don't have like a favorite team.
Yes.
I didn't get to watch TV.
Yeah, you didn't exactly. There's a perfect example.
So there it is.
There it
You
is.
got
see what
favorite
I'm saying?
players.
You
Yeah.
got favorite players, and you may like the game because you played
But
the
you
game.
you weren't.
But you're not
Yeah,
programmed to a team.
No.
Now, tell Joshua, he's your brother, your best friend, my son, to go like on another team, especially the
Yeah,
Patriots.
You couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't.
If you
Bro,
bought him another jersey, another team's jersey, he
Bro,
would
he's
fucking
like,
throw
what the
it.
fuck?
What are you
He'll
doing?
look
Bro?
at you
Stop
like,
playing with
are
me,
you
bro.
fucking with me?
My brother literally.
It's not funny, bro. That's not a funny
No,
game. That's
no,
not funny.
That's
yeah,
not
bro.
funny. I'm not gonna wear that.
No,
shit.
my no, you can't. My brother literally, you could ask him like week 3 of like the 1989 season of the Eagles, and he would tell you the team they played, and he would get the score either correct or within 3 points of the score. That's how much he watched the Eagles all those years. That's how programmed he was when it came to Eagles, and he stopped watching.
Josh can do that.
Yeah, well, he stopped watching because he got so tired of giving his energy away because they would get so far and then they'd lose or not make the playoffs or not make the Super Bowl. And he'd be like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it would take so much out of you that it would ruin your week the following week to where you were just like, you just couldn't function.
Josh so bad, he know how much cap space the team got to buy somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go. And that's because of fantasy football, too, because of cap space, players, all
Bro,
that shit.
fantasy football
Yeah,
is
fantasy
the
football's
worst.
the
He'll play
worst.
21 leagues at a
Bro,
time.
20 fucking 1 leagues, bro. We riding, and I'm like, bro, he was like, yeah, you doing
20
fantasy this year? I'm
21
like, yeah.
leagues.
I said, how
Yeah.
many leagues you doing? I'm doing like 3.
Yeah, that's all I would
Josh is
ever do.
like,
3.
Josh is like, he's like, guess how many I'm doing? I'm like, probably 6 or 7. That's probably the most I've never
21.
heard. 11. I've heard him say 11. This motherfucker said I'm doing 21 now.
21,
That's-
because he told me. I'm saying, what are you doing with that?
It's an addiction. It's an
It is,
addiction.
bro.
It is. It is.
And he
I-
play money. He got the little.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I did. I had to. You have to dissolve those. I call them attachments. They're attachments.
You
I
picked
think
in
they're
this.
just fun. I just do it
We
because
played
it's
in this
fun.
little pool together, you
Yeah,
and me.
yeah, we did it. Yeah.
I just think that fantasy shit's fun.
It was fun for a while, but I realized I was just again giving my
play every
energy
year.
away every week with the same shit, looking at the fucking stat, listening to the fantasy radio
I
station.
don't even watch the
But it's
football
almost
games
control,
unless I'm
though.
at one.
It is.
It's almost control. So let's say you want to ride in Miami, and there's a Dolphin game, and let's get it obvious cheating with like the Patriots that they hate the Patriots. You're gonna create a fucking riot in Miami
100%. Yeah.
because people are so fucking controlled.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about television. Kids today don't watch cartoons.
no.
Nope.
No.
They watch videos.
The
And the
cartoons are
videos
fucked
they
up.
watch on YouTube
Ain't for
are
kids.
disturbing.
Yeah, they are.
Disturbing.
Not for kids.
Adults
And the
playing with toys.
And the algorithms
And
feed
it
them
just-
more. It feeds you more. So now you don't have to turn on the TV to get your fix. You can just get your algorithms to give you the fix. It's
Bro.
AI. And we talked about this many times. AI, exactly. It's artificial intelligence.
These kids, they all have phones.
That's one of our
Right,
podcasts.
they all
that got
have phones.
taken off of YouTube.
And phones are they're becoming very easy now to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting cheaper and cheaper, if you notice. So what's happening is
giving
that
them out for free?
Now, what happens now? Most parents are tired. They work. Both parents have to work today because of the way the economy is, right? They give the kid an iPad, a phone.
Done.
Go baby. Let that here. Go babysit my kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's all it
They're
does.
cooking. They're doing what they feel is the right thing. They're cooking. They're cleaning up, making sure that the kid's gonna have. Hey, did you do your homework yet? But he's 2 hours, 3 hours before he goes to sleep. He's watching weird shit on YouTube. Watch what your kids are watching. My grandson can't do that here anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta watch because some of the stuff is adults like in their 20s playing with little toys and interacting with kids.
I'll hear him
and then some
one
of them
bad word on there.
scare the kids.
Yeah.
Like
That'd be
it's
the
about
thing.
fear.
And they'll
Scaring
jump
the
down
kids.
so
What did
fast.
Jim Caviezel say about fear?
I said, bro,
Yeah.
if you don't turn this shit off, bro, I don't let him watch. When he watching them videos,
Who,
Roman sit by
Roman?
himself
Yeah.
and with his back to me so I can see exactly what he watching. Because I know I've seen they're like these things. There's always like TikToks on which ones your kids shouldn't be watching. So I know every one of them. And as soon as I see them, I'm like, hey, turn that video.
Yeah.
Turn that video
And
right
bro,
now.
they,
And that's
but the thing is about these videos, they got millions, like 50 million views, bro.
Billions of views, bro.
Kids are fucking
There are
lured.
ex-porn stars on
Bro,
these things. bro.
lured, and not only in the United States, all over the fucking world.
Everywhere.
They're fucking watching these stupid ass videos.
I know, and that's
I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't entertain me as an adult, and when you're a kid, less. I think
it's programmed.
I used to like watching cartoons.
It's mindless
Like,
shit.
why would a kid want to sit and watch another kid play with toys?
It's
On the
not a
computer
kid, it's an
instead of going to
adult.
no, but like
Oh,
still
yeah,
like,
like
that's
video
what they're-
games.
but that's what Roman watches a lot. He watches a lot of videos of kids playing with toys.
Yeah.
But then there are videos of the adults presenting toys and shit. Like I don't understand that. I understand he want to watch another
wearing
kid do it.
costumes.
Yeah, they're wearing costumes and shit.
You know,
so
I'm talking
they're
about-
like favorite characters of a child, like
kids.
Spider-Man, fucking
Yeah.
things from Disney, shit like that. Shit that gets a kid's attention. Like, oh yeah, Spider-Man's a hero. To all the fucking every fucking 6 months you get a Spider-Man movie. Feel like.
Yeah.
And kids are fucking going crazy over it right now.
getting
And
more-
he's a fucking face on there with one of
Right.
these
We're
groups.
trying to get these kids, lure
Lure
these
in.
kids.
Yeah, because it's
You know, so these kids now are watching these mindless, because that's what they
That's
are,
all it
because
is.
they make no sense.
no, they don't.
You know, because I'm smart enough to see if it has any sense. Makes no sense. They're mindless videos. And what are they doing to our kids' brains?
It's distraction. It's a major distraction. It's
No,
destroying
we
their
need to take
brains.
the phones away from the kids and start giving our kids books. And then not only giving them a book, but tell them, hey, all right, we need a book report in 2 days on that book. I read the
Mama
book, by
used
the
to
way.
do that shit to me. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's where I heard it from.
Oh man.
Bro, it's true.
Man, don't try to reinvent the
Rondell-
wheel, man. Leave that shit alone.
Rondell would come to my house, right?
Leave that shit
And
alone.
he'll hang out with Josh and everything else. Rondell didn't smoke. He didn't. Josh smoked, but he hang out with Josh and everything else. And I would see him in like sitting in the corner of the couch reading, right? And one day I said, yo, what's up? He said, I got to do a book report for my mom.
Bullshit.
He had to do a book report for his mother. He told me this when he was in high school. He was in high school. He wasn't even in grammar. He was at high school. Bro.
Right.
He had to read a book, and his mother wanted a book report. What's wrong with that, though?
Oh,
What
I'm
you
not.
mean?
I'm not
in
saying it's
school.
a bad thing.
right.
I'm saying
saying-
it is. I ain't
For
in
you.
school. I'm done. I'm out of school. I'm home. Well, I was
But
supposed
you
to
want
be
to know
home.
something? But you weren't watching television, so she wanted you to exercise your brain, which is fucking awesome. That's how come you're as smart as you are. Exercise your brain to fucking think and not be scrambled like these kids are getting scrambled.
Scrambled.
These
eggs.
kids don't even speak right anymore. Everything, yeah, like
Yeah.
you know. Sometimes they even act like babies. Like what the fuck?
Because they're imitating what they're watching.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And that's a come, you know, again, going full reversal to what you talked about. They're after our children.
100%.
So we as parents and as grandparents need to be vigilant and say, hey, you can't watch that, bro. Turn that shit off. As a matter of fact, grab that football. Let's go play a little catch. You know, and that's not what we're not doing that a lot. We're you know, because we're tired. I dig it. You worked an 8-hour day. You're fucking beat.
Yep.
Take fucking 30 minutes and throw a ball with your kid.
When I lived in
It'll
Orlando,
make a fucking difference.
we lived right across the street from the park. My mama would kick our ass out the house so fast.
Get
and
out,
then what
play.
the funniest part was, we would think we were out there like she in the house. We think she in the house. Get in a fight or some shit. You running back to the house, and then she pop out the van. I'm like, whoa. She was like, get in the house right now.
Oh my
like, so she done seen everything happen. Like she been just sitting in the van watching.
Right. Watching.
And you think you out there by yourself. So like,
Oh my
you
God.
cussing and shit. Like she in the van, so she can't hear that. So that's it. All she just see is the action, just us fighting and shit, and then us running across the park after we done. Like, mom. Well, and then she get out the van like, oh, we like, fuck. She seen it all. Get your ass in the house. She seen it all. Shit.
You know,
Right.
bro, my mom used to yell out the window. We lived in apartments, right, in New York City. So there was like apartment buildings all over. So they, you know, we call them blocks. I don't know what they call them here, like neighborhoods. You call them. We call them blocks, right? So in my block, right, if I was like a few blocks down, I would hear my mother, bro. It was like an echo.
Oh yeah, that shit's hollowed out. It's like so much space
Bro,
in
it was
between
like
them.
a fucking echo. Oh shit, my mom's calling
Y'all
me.
heard
dude.
that shit?
Right.
Yeah, I knew, bro. Nobody else would hear it. Nah.
And then you did it again.
Nah, that's my mom, bro. I gotta go. I'm running, bro.
What?
Yeah, dude.
My mama wouldn't even call me. She was
Yeah.
coming.
Right.
Bro, you
And
know
then
that?
we had a whistle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was another whistle we knew. Like that came from my uncle.
Okay.
So my uncle was looking for us because in my block it was me, My mother, her sister, her two sisters, her brother, her two brothers lived in the same block.
Yeah.
My mother was a superintendent of 3 apartment buildings, so she made sure she looked out for her fam, right?
Gotcha.
So we had all the family living in the same block. So my best friends were my cousins. You know, like I like when I said that was my cousin, that was my real cousin, right?
Cousin.
You know, it was my real cousin. Yeah, so we hung out like that, and we grew tight knit family. Like 4th of July, like a day like today. By the way, it is the 4th of July. You begin this tomorrow. Happy 4th, y'all.
Happy 4th.
You know, I mean, it's funny how we don't really thinking about the 4th of July of America, Independence Day. Are we independent?
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so we would do like, you know, big family gatherings, roast a pig. You know, Puerto Ricans, we roast pigs.
Yeah.
You know, and it was nice, you know. It was different. You know, the cop at the time walked the beat cops, you know, he kind of knew them with Sergeant O'Connor's at the time in my block. And I remember they would get you out of jams, and that's how I ended up in the military too. Because I had gotten in trouble. I had gotten pulled over. I was in a stolen car. Back then, if you had a joint, it was illegal.
Yeah, you go to jail.
You go to jail, right? And I had a joint in the back seat, and I was in the back seat of a stolen car. I didn't steal it, but I knew it was stolen, right? And
I didn't steal it, but I knew it was stolen.
so when you get arrested, right? They call the beat cop if you don't have like a criminal record. So they call the beat cop.
Because he knew you.
Yeah. So the beat cop comes.
He
Even if you got to wait till the next day, you got to stay in the jail. But he was there that night, so he came, and he looked. They already kind of know when you get a call, one of your kids from your neighborhood.
Yeah.
What do you know about this kid? Because they were, like I said, the 4th of July, he had to play the food.
Yeah.
You know, he would roll up his sleeves and play baseball. You know, it was like the beat cop, you know. So he said, okay, put him to court. Take him to court. But he already had a recruiter there.
Oh, I got you.
He had a recruiter there for me. And then when I finished, right before I went into the courtroom, he came in to see me. He says, I have a recruiter out there. You're going to make a decision right now to go to jail. Just like that. You're going to go to jail for a year.
Yeah.
You're going to go from here to jail, Rikers Island. And then he said, Rikers Island for a year, or you're going to join the Army. I joined the Army.
Fuck Rikers.
Yeah, dude. I was like, you know, they kind of like, but they cared enough to take time to go to your court, go to your, you know, get a recruiter, you know, because they, you know, I guess they, you know, the beat cop knew the kids. That's relationships with. A lot of times we don't have relationships with cops anymore. That's come there's an issue.
That was the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s.
Yeah,
man. We used to have a
Rikers.
relationship
You
with
don't wanna be
cops.
in
You know.
Rikers in the 80s.
No, you know, Rikers Island was crazy in the 80s.
In the 80s,
That was all because it was all street gangs. It was sidewalk
Mob.
commandos, the mob, everybody. It was fucked up. Yeah.
Russians. You got to
It
do
was.
Russians.
I've been through there several times in the 80s. But what I'm saying is that, but he cared enough to do all that. And when you have that type of, like, we don't have that today. That's how come our kids are in danger, you know, because we're letting electronics babysit our kids. Police no longer want to protect your kids. They want to arrest your kids, you know, and so the kids are afraid of the cops. You understand? It's like one of those things now where we saw Sergeant O'Connor, like we go fucking run to him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're not running to the police anymore. We're running from them. And that's a problem. And the pedophile knows it. And the pedophile sees that, you know, the kids aren't going to the cops. No. They ain't going to go nowhere.
Because cops aren't, they're not doing nothing about it.
And they
Well,
talked about that in the movie too. Yeah,
That's
talked
why
about
I didn't see
that
the
too.
movie, guys. I'm just telling you. I just know what the
I've
movie's
seen a
about.
lot of movies where girls are saying like true stories, and girls don't want to talk about it because nobody wants to listen.
No, it's true. Even there's this part in the movie where the partner of Tim Bauer, before he quits the Homeland Security job, the guy says to him, like, you know, like, how many pedophiles have you caught so far? And he's like, you know, 288 pedophiles. He's like, how many kids have you found? And he just looked at him like, none. And he's like, well, and he made an excuse. He's like, well, we're supposed to get the pedophiles, you know. It's like, yeah, but you're not getting to the end result. You're stopping the pedophile. He's going into jail, but eventually he's getting out. You know?
It's like this, right? It's like arresting the John. Okay. You know, so it doesn't make sense. Yeah, let's get the pedophile.
Yeah.
Let's get him. fucking castrate his ass, fucking,
They don't do nothing to him.
put
They
his
get-
fucking balls through a grinder.
But
Straight up.
That's what should be
get it.
happening.
However, we need to get where the kids
The kids
are
are already
coming from.
gone.
We need to get the source. Because
That's what
you
they
see,
said.
again, I'm going to go back to say this because I know this for a fact that parents sell their kids.
Yeah.
Parents sell their kids
It happened. You see it all the time in the
people
news.
for money.
People trying
Drug
to.
addict parents, parents who are struggling, a gambling dad. They for their own lives,
for money.
for money,
Getting with the
or
money.
to save their own lives because they may owe the money.
Exactly.
They give up their daughter, their son, or they went missing. Look, we had Megan Walsh here. Look at her story. I mean, before her brother Adam went missing, she found adoption papers. He was getting ready to get rid of the kid anyway.
Exactly. So there.
You know what I mean?
And then I say to myself, "Where's John Walsh? Is he not promoting this movie? Was he not
Well,
talking
no,
about
John
that?"
Walsh- because he's
why
probably
wouldn't you support something like that?
Because
Exactly.
he's down with it.
You're
Because
on
now,
America's Most Wanted.
again, we heard it from a source.
Yep.
The sex parties. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't there, but someone who was said it.
Yeah.
And I'm going
Where's-
to believe her.
Where's he at? You know, he's
You
not,
know?
he should be out there promoting the movie, going,
Right.
"We got to save kids." And like my kid got stolen and
No,
disappeared.
he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't do nothing.
Well, he's famous.
he don't
like
wanna open that
Botox.
wound.
He's Botox king.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
He's a
And you don't want to
Botox
open
king.
a
You ever
wound.
seen him like his fucking forehead don't got like one wrinkle?
I do.
He's fucking weird looking.
So
That's
you
the
just-
thing about today. If you say anything, the internet is gonna investigate.
Yeah.
You say anything, the internet is investigate.
Well, the internet needs to do a little more than investigate. They need to
Because-
stop it because you want to know something. The internet is what's selling these.
That's what
fucking
I'm saying
kids.
though. If he says something, if he says, "Yeah, I support this," as somebody that went through this, the internet today opens old doors.
Exactly.
Let's really dive into this.
The
And now they're
receipts.
going to see his daughter is speaking about it. And then this is a real shitstorm if he speaks on something like that.
100%.
That's why he's not doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I question it, because it just proves our
That's a
point.
real
It proves-
shitstorm if he opens that door.
proves
well,
everything.
you saying this, but your daughter's been looking for answers.
It's funny,
There's
there's a
somebody
nice
saying
picture
that
of-
he's your
There's
son.
a nice picture of Mr. John Walsh and Hunter Biden.
I know, exactly. There you go. There's a perfect example.
Yeah.
That's why they're down with it. That's why I told that guy in the movie theater, I said, they're all down with it. They're all involved in it. I said,
Why
that's
wasn't Epstein on America's Most Wanted?
Exactly. Good
Right?
question, yeah.
How
know
come you
why?
don't see a lot of pedophiles on America's Most
You
Wanted?
won't.
What you see is a lot of people who kill their wives, you know,
Domestic
wives killing the
abuse,
husband,
terrorists.
stuff like that.
Yep.
But you don't see too many pedophiles.
Terrorists, serial killers, that's all you
Yeah,
see.
yeah, scumbags.
You know, there's
Yeah, the
agencies
scumbag
out
they
there.
wanna
What
say
they
is a
do
scumbag.
is that they set up these pedophiles to
Yes,
embarrass
a lot
them.
of those people are set up.
You know, they embarrass them. I mean, like they'll come and say, "Who you looking for, Stacy, the 11-year-old?"
Oh yeah, Chris Hansen.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I saw a
And-
video today about that. Yeah.
And then the guy, he's recording the whole thing. And you said you work here. Does your wife know you're here to speak to an 11-year-old girl?
I saw a video.
we were ready to
exactly
quit
the
you,
same
Chris
thing.
Hansen
sir.
was
Why don't
fucking-
we
He
talk
was
about
fired.
it?
What? Chris Hansen was fire as fuck, bro. That shit was fucking.
What was this?
To catch a pedophile.
That's what he used to do. He used to set
Yeah.
people up. He used
Yeah.
to, and he just
The
be
catch
sitting
was-
sitting in the living room like this, waiting on their
Yeah,
ass.
to
So they
catch
come
it.
in with that
Call-
leg crossed. He
Yeah.
just be sitting there. Hey, how are you? Come in, take a seat.
Yeah, to catch a predator. it's
Are you
called.
here to see 11-year-old?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
He's like, no, don't run back outside. Come in, just sit down, come in.
The guy's got a
Alright.
6-pack with condoms.
all the fucking, he got all the cameras on his ass. So,
Yeah.
oh, bro, come on. Just
You're
trust
already
me. You don't
exposed.
know because
Yeah.
once they walk back out that door, they getting tackled. There's fucking cops outside every time he
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah.
So fucking when he tries to like make them sit down and talk.
Sit down. The
Yeah, he
police are
tries to
out
get
there.
the
What's
interview
your
first.
side of the story?
Yeah, he tries to get the interview
What's
first.
your side of the
And
story?
then fucking like, but he has everything though because he's been the one texting them.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He's been
These
the one
people
texting
do
them the
that.
whole time.
Well, I don't know if it's this. I don't know his name, but I saw a video of this guy. He drives an hour to meet this girl, and the guy's like waiting for him. He's recording with his cameras. He has a camera crew. The guy's pretty built, not somebody you might want to mess with, right? And this skinny guy, you know, he says, "Hey." And now he knows his whole life. He knows he's a school teacher.
Yeah.
He knows he's married with 2 kids. He knows this. Everything, bro. Now, the guy's exposed. You know he lost his job.
Real, everything's done.
His family's done. Sometimes it's worse than jail. And the police are waiting after.
Yeah.
Now you got to answer to the police. They can't actually arrest you because you didn't actually do anything. Yeah. But now you're on record.
Yeah. Soliciting a minor.
Yeah.
Well, look at what that guy was in jail with when I went to jail for the Megan Walsh thing. That kid drove all the way here to meet that little 14-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah, the guy that was in there?
Yeah, the guy was in with me.
He said she was 18. No, he didn't. You knew she was 14.
No, he said she was 21.
There's a reason you in jail, bro.
Yeah, you're in jail for a reason.
It was fucked up, dude. And I just was like, wow, dude. I'm like, really? You drove all the way down there for that?
That's what you have, bro. You know? That's what happens. But you see, the thing is not enough of them are going to jail. Yeah. The real ones, the real pedophiles, the one that get to 50 children, the one that wants to see them slaughtered, after they fuck them, they want to drink their blood because they're so scared. Mm-hmm. Those are the motherfuckers we got to get.
Yes.
But no, those are the guys that live on the fucking beach. Mm-hmm. Those are the guys who, contribute to my election.
Have a fence
you
around
understand?
Their house.
So, we need to really, like these little guys, these little perverts, that they're catching, that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's small.
I want the ones that are supplying the children to make those fucking perverts come out. Exactly. Who's supplying these kids? They're not doing it on their fucking own. Nope. They're fucking 12 years old. They're not getting dressed in high heels and fucking driving to fucking meet somebody.
To an island.
Who the motherfucker that is taking these kids and fucking doing it? Let's talk to that motherfucker. Because you're sick. Yeah, you need to fucking get your fucking balls chopped off, bro. Straight up. That'll be my punishment for that. You don't want to go to jail? No problem. See Dr. So-and-so, you're not going to be a boy anymore. You lost it. You lost that privilege to have a fucking dick.
That's what
now you going to tell me where these kids coming from. And the sad thing, a lot of them will come from women. Yeah. You would think that men are the one that's supplying these kids. Women themselves are the ones doing it.
In the movie, that's what it is. A woman that seduces these kids.
Okay, because the women are, are easier to manipulate a child, the motherly thing,
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. That's exactly what they portrays. It definitely gives you. It's gonna open people's eyes up. That's for sure.
Well, that's good, man. I hope we opened up some eyes here.
Yeah.
We didn't mention Caps today because it is the 4th of July.
They closed.
But let me get their menu, man. That's why I can put a shout out to them anyway because they support us.
They were closed today. They closed at 4.
They called. They're in the it's Independence Day.
They were open though, for real. You gotta celebrate.
I almost didn't do the podcast because of it, but I said no. It's Tuesday and it's our last day at 4:20. Yeah, we were at my son's house. We had a nice party. They wanted us to come back to see the fireworks.
Nice, all right.
But anyway, Cat's Pizza and Pub, right? It's at 725 27th Avenue Southwest. It's right off of Oslo, man, and 27th Street. And the number there, 772-770-2277.
Knocking out pizza since 1987.
1987.
Yeah,
make sure you guys drop by, say that TGI Now sent you.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because definitely big shout out to John and his family. Yep. But yeah, man, so, we're about that time to finish up. But I will tell you this, man. Take a minute. Talk to your child. Just talk to them. Find out, if there's anybody that's anything they've been listening to, anything that they've been watching on the YouTube or who they're talking to in school. Get a little more involved with your children's conversation, because the Bible says that faith cometh by hearing. Faith comes by hearing. So if faith comes by hearing, the opposite of faith being fear also comes by hearing.
It's true.
Faith comes by hearing the word of God. Fear comes by hearing the word of the world.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
And that's 100. That's scripture, not me. It wasn't. I didn't write it. I'm not that smart.
Yeah, but that's
what I mean.
That's where
but
we're
it's
at.
The truth. Because you got to look at it. Like if you ever talk to somebody who's really positive, it makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
As I come, I watch a lot of motivational videos. This way, kind of it keeps me driven, right? So. Imagine a child listening to this negative shit all the time and watching all this shit. His brain's going to be fucked up.
It gets polluted,
Yeah. So we're going to lose that child. And you think, oh, no, because no one's touching them, that they're fine.
Doesn't matter.
They're being touched. Their brains are being touched with this fucking TV, man. These fucking little electronics.
And then they got to go out in the world.
Take them out, throw a ball. Get to know your kids. Talk to your children. A lot of parents don't talk to their children.
You're right.
You
You're
know, they
absolutely
don't.
right.
They don't sit down and talk to them like they're too young. No,
They talk
to them.
Talk at them too.
They talk at their children. You're right, 100%. And sometimes we need to talk at our children.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
necessary to
You know, I believe. You know, I believe that discipline is part of love.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible says, you know, discipline a child in the way he should go. You know, and it says reject discipline and watch your child go astray.
There you go.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Boom.
Right?
Yeah.
Scripture. I ain't say it, somebody else do, right? Somebody's
Yep.
funny.
It wasn't me.
But you know what I'm saying? And
God's-
that's the truth. And we stop. Now a kid feels he could call 911, a parent could go to jail for not sparing the rod, but yet that's the same Bible they want you to put your hand on. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yeah. In your Bible, it says spare the rod and spoil the child. So you're telling me through the same Bible, you're telling me to swear the truth. You want me to say that I was wrong?
Yep.
That's contradicting. That's a
Very
fucking
contradicting,
oxymoron.
aren't
What
we?
the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So that's what we need to get back to. Truth. What's the truth? You know what I
The
mean?
trafficking
Let's find
kids.
truth.
Shit, I remember
You know?
when whooping your kids was like it wasn't
Regular
like
shit.
like literally you call the police on your
You don't
parents and the
abuse
police
your
finna
kids.
pull up
You know,
and be like,
I mean, I've seen abuse.
you can whoop them right in front of me.
I've
for
seen
calling
abuse.
me.
You don't want to abuse your kids. I've seen some kids get abused for no reason.
Yeah.
Drunken parents. That's
I've
fucked
seen it
up.
too, yeah.
I've seen it. I'm talking about your kid went into your drawer. He took $5 and he ended up buying some fucking a vape cart. Kid's 11. Whip the fucking shit out that kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Teach him a
kid
lesson.
will learn not to
Never
do that
ever
again.
do that again.
Because two things. One, he stole that he's doing vape at 12. I don't think that.
That's
I
not-
think
nah,
this
no.
is an. I
It
saw
don't
vape.
slide.
Yeah.
It's an adult product.
At 12 years
Okay,
old,
I sell adult products. I think that the products that I sell, unless it's a CBD gummy, don't belong to kids.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. You're
You
right.
know, we fuck them up early.
It's
You know?
because of distractions. Everybody's distracted
That
by
shit ain't
bullshit.
good for your lungs.
No, it sucks.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what it is. Now, if you just the kid look. I mean, there's some parents that they're so fucking insecure.
Yeah.
You know, kid, why are you looking at me? Come here. Mind your business.
Bro,
You
I
know,
grew
like-
up with a kid like that. I used to watch it
so
every
did I.
day.
His name was Tony Orama.
It was
I'll
a
never
kid
forget
named
his
Billy.
name.
I'll never forget him
Yeah.
either, bro. He was the only white kid in the neighborhood, bro.
His kid is
So,
ass
like,
kicked,
bro.
bro. And
I'm
he was a
talking
white
about
kid too.
just
this
like
kid.
that,
yeah,
yeah, bro. Fucking
His
that shit
dad
used to
came
be
back
crazy,
from Vietnam, bro, and used to. And I remember, I
It was
would
his
hear
grandma
it, bro.
doing it to him.
Bro,
I'm
that's
talking about-
horrible shit. Like you said, you never forget Billy. I'll never forget Tony Orama. He used to, like, I lived in apartment 3B. He lived in apartment 5B, which is 2 stories
You
up.
can
So
hear
we
that
shared, not only that, we shared the same fire escape.
I bet.
So he would come down the fire escape in the middle of the night, beg my mother, because no one fucked with my mother. I told you, her brothers lived there, her sister, you know. So no one fucked with my mother, right? So he would beg my mother, please tell my father to stop hitting me. And the kid would be fucking shaking, all bruised up. And the dad would come knocking on the door. It's Tony there. My mom would come out with a fucking stick. Tony slept in my house more times. My mother saved that kid's life probably. Seriously.
probably right.
You know, because for no reason the kid would get beat.
It's only going to get
You know,
worse.
for
Yeah,
no
it's only
reason.
gonna
Like
get
he would leave a
worse.
sock on the floor, beaten. He would, mistakes that kids make, and he was really, I mean, my mother let him stay. He was he was respectful. I guess because his dad made sure of that shit. But he always, yes, Mrs. Rivera, and yeah,
Shame.
Tony, Billy.
For real, bro.
Yeah, it's fucked up, right?
Man, you see it, bro. Like, and I know that kid's fucked up to this day because when we used to try to like let him play with us and shit, he used to just spaz the fuck out. Like he'd be okay, and then shit, he just probably think about what's happening there. What do you got to go back home to? And probably that
Why
just
you
would
get
probably
hit so
just.
hard in your head, bro,
Bro,
when you're
I'm talking about
young.
kids used to come around the corner with scars all over his face.
Isn't
And
like
shit.
your brain when you're
Yeah,
young,
you're
your
getting-
brain isn't like
Yeah.
In there,
well developed, attached,
Yeah.
right? So when you get hit a lot,
You're right.
I mean, men that get hit a lot
Yeah.
in the head.
Yeah, your
You can
brain's
imagine a
covered
child,
with
yeah.
it's a fluid, with it covers
That's it.
outside of
You
your brain,
fuck up
inside
a
your
kid's
skull.
brain, and then you're already inflicting the worst thing you could give to a child is fear.
Yep.
You're not putting no faith and love in that child. You're putting fear and hate in that
Trauma.
child.
That's what I used
Trauma.
to tell Quinn.
That's
when
what
he
you're
would, he would, some of his friends at school that would be certain ways or act. I said,
See, I can say my mama ain't never whooped me like that.
Yeah,
My mama ain't never been one of them.
you never know.
No, I got
Just hit me
but
for
not
no
like
fucking
that.
reason.
Nah.
My mama, if I got hit, it was for a good fucking reason. I'm
My
talking
mother
about
hit
every
me with the
time.
belt.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped.
You know why?
Sometimes there was anything that was close because I was doing some stupid shit sometimes right in front of, and I knew I was just messing around. And shit.
My mom, and this is one thing I learned.
Get your ass out of here.
Because whenever I spanked my sons, and you know,
Yep.
I did it with a belt. My mother said, never hit your kids with your hand, because when you put your hand out to help them, they're gonna reject it.
They gonna flint.
Wow, that's not in the scripture.
Right? No, that was just
That's a
wise,
good one, right?
wise wisdom from my mother.
Yeah.
You know, she told me that.
Yeah.
You know, because
true.
she always hit me with a belt. And then one day, I guess she felt bad because she really hit me hard that day. And she came back and she hugged me and she told me that. And my mother wasn't a hugger, but I think I probably got hugged by my mother 3 times in my life.
Yeah, my mama wasn't no hugger.
My mother wasn't a hugger. She wasn't like a person like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she told me that. She says, I always hit you with a belt. And she told me in Spanish, I always hit you with a belt because I never want you to be afraid of my hand when you need
It
help.
makes total sense, dude.
You know? And she said it in Spanish. In Spanish, it made a lot more sense. But I was like, wow. And I started crying, and she just hugged me. And then she told me not to do what I did, you know. And I went to my room. True story. Yeah,
True
you know,
story.
so-
There you go. It's like a movie. True story.
You
True
get it.
story. But you know, shit like that. You see, I remember that.
Yeah, you do. You
It stick
You know
with
what I
you.
mean?
Exactly.
It sticks with
That's
you.
what it comes down to,
You
and that's
know?
what it comes down to. These kids getting trafficked.
I used to get to talk
It
before the
it
ass
sticks.
whooping.
It sticks to. It's going to stick with them.
Yeah, so like it wasn't
It's
no
not
talk.
good.
My mama used to make it stick. She gonna give you this good ass talk. I mean, a talk that make you cry. It did.
She couldn't.
She finna whoop your
real.
ass, and then she ain't gonna say shit to you after.
Real.
So she gonna leave you with that impression at the end. That's it. Come get dinner. That's it. That's all you get
See,
after.
John,
That's real, man.
you don't got no stories, right,
Oh,
John?
No, my dad. No, I've had some stories. We don't have enough time for that.
He said, I got some stuff.
We got on top of my stories, bro.
It was like,
We're running out of
shit.
time now.
Yeah, we're talking about fuck, but
I can.
anyway.
Yeah, I can give you some.
But I can tell you, I'm sure, John, because you want to know something. One thing is parents, they, you know,
Nobody's
it was
perfect.
a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
nobody's
a
perfect.
different
Everybody's
way to
learning.
raise a child. You understand? When
gotta
we
get-
grew up, it was just a different way to raise a child.
Yeah, but we have to get back to it. We
Yeah,
have to
we
come
gotta
around.
get
We have to
back to
save the
basics.
kids. Yeah.
But remember, we didn't have
No, I know.
distractions.
Yeah. I know.
You
grew
know,
up with
video games.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, I think it was Atari. When I was a kid, ding, ding.
We had
Anyway,
everything.
guys, share the show,
Super
man. God bless,
Nintendo.
man. Thank you so much. Happy 4th. I
Happy
appreciate
4th.
you
Thanks
guys
for
listening
listening.
today
Y'all.
with us.
Yep. God's children are not for sale.
Facts.
All right, guys. Stay human.
Piece chicken grease, baby. We out.
Love, peach, chicken grease. We out.
Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers.